Welcome to East Coast Elk Reviews. Today we're doing another whiskey examination. So we're still on rye January. So pretty much throughout January we're going to be doing all rye whiskeys. It's been a lot of fun. We've done some good ones. I think the best so far was definitely the Wild Turkey 101. But today we are doing the old Overholt straight rye whiskey. I'd like to thank the panel that's here with me today. We got Thomas Smell with 75, also known as Beer Reviews. Cheers, Eric. Bumpy Road Brews. Cheers, bro. And Beerman from Beerman. Cheers, bro. All right, we got people. What?
How can you say the Wild Turkey 101 was one of the better ones? The EC one blew it away.
The Elijah Craig was the best. I think me personally, I think I like the 101 rye over the. I'm pretty sure. I think I gave it a higher score. But yeah, cheers to the chat. We got miscellaneous. Cheers. First, cheers, boys. Bobby's in the chat. Beer man. Cheers to Bill. And Sam. Show and Style Beer Reviews. Cheers, everyone. All right. So on this show, we do have a 6-point category rating system. So we go over the aesthetics, the nose, the flavor, the mouthfeel, the finish, and then we finish it off with the value. So the aesthetics is 10 points, value also 10 points, and then nose, flavor, mouthfeel, and finish are 20 points, all totaling 100 points. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Pretty much we'll go over each category, try to give it a score. Sometimes I think as far as the nose, flavor, mouthfeel, finish, we actually like to do the tasting before we even do some of those numbers sometimes. I mean, I personally like to.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, so first off, we like to start off with some information about the whiskey. So they do have a nice aged 4-year age statement right on the front of the bottle there. Also, actually, one thing I didn't say, the number one thing we usually talk about is we all talk about what size bottle we brought and how much we paid for it. So we will start with Eric over here. What did you?
I got a 750 milliliter. The 1 liter would have been 21, I think 99. This was 16.99 for the 750 milliliter.
That's what I paid, 17. What about you, Bumpy?
Same.
Beer man?
1995.
Well, you actually, that's fair because you've gotten like $3 cheaper on all the other ones than me and Bumpy.
Yeah, sure.
I guess it's fair now that you paid a little bit more for yours. So, yeah, this is a Jim Beam product. So distribution on this should be decent. Was kind of one of the ones that I discussed with Bumpy, and I was like, it's a good price. $7.50. I mean, it's good enough to the point where even if this isn't like not like a bad sipper, I mean, it's made by Jim Beam. How bad could it really be? It's got a nice 4 years.
It's Drewski approved.
No,
I'm saying it's made by a mass-produced, company. So, what else we got on here? It is also non-chill filtered, and it's bottled at 86 proof, 43% alcohol by volume. And it'll be where I can tell you guys that this had a brand makeover in March 2020. So they went from 80 proof to 86 proof. It went from being chill filtered to bottled without chill filtration. And then another fun kind of / funny fact. The portrait of Abraham Overholt on the label has been re-illustrated from having a grin to a frown, which is more accurate according to his portraits.
What a curmudgeon.
So that's pretty funny. Yeah, interesting packaging. I will say we have a brown bottle with a red cap. I like the label. The label's nice and slick. It's got like it's kind of got a different texture to it. It kind of gives like old timey kind of like kind of that, like like you would see like a pirate map, kind of that like weathered paper look to it.
Paper.
Yeah.
Looks cool. I like it. Of course, I'm not really a big fan of the twist cap, but I mean, you can't really complain when you're paying $17. On the back, we do have, it says Pennsylvania born, Kentucky distilled. In 1810, Abraham Overholt began distilling rye whiskey in Western Pennsylvania, and rye has been our focus ever since. Old Overholt is one of the oldest cornerstones of American rye whiskey. Non-chill filter. This rye is non-chill filter, which gives the whiskey a richer, fuller flavor. In cold temperatures, the whiskey may appear cloudy or have visible particles, which is both normal and natural. They actually have calorie count on the back of this. They're saying 1.5 ounces is 105 calories. So that's pretty cool. Then we got another age statement right on the back there. Old Overholt, 4 years old. Yeah. I mean, it says bottled by A. Overholt and Co. Frankfort, Kentucky. So it's distilled by Jim Beam. Mash bill is undisclosed. They do not let you know what the mash bill is. Anything else? But we do know that it's at least 51% rye, and it must be aged in new charred oak barrels.
According to his signature, he didn't know how to spell his last name.
Why?
Because it looks like Overholtl.
I don't know.
It's definitely two T's there.
It shakes when you're
Old timey.
Yeah.
I'm pouring.
Or maybe that's the H. You sure that? Wait. No, what am I talking about?
I'm pouring it.
The L. He said I'm pouring it. All right, yeah, let's pour it. You guys hear that cork pop? No.
I heard that twist crack.
Corn pop?
Oh, shoot. Too much.
I don't have my light on. Let me put my light on.
Looks like I'm looking through corn pops when I'm looking at bumpy roads view.
That's really bright. Hold on, let me get that turned down a little bit.
Not super dark at all. Pretty light coloration.
Pour this up.
Super light coloration.
So
What is
I
the
do have
sound?
a fresh crack, by the way. Who else has a fresh crack? Does anybody else have a fresh bottle?
Yeah, I freshly cracked it tonight. Yeah.
All right. I think Beer Man and Bumpy both opened theirs.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm already halfway through the bottle.
That'd be cool. Then now we have two different ones.
It's got decent legs.
Yeah, decent legs.
It's got a nice kind of like light amber color.
Mm.
They're falling relatively slowly, the legs, so maybe not a huge mouthfeel, but I know.
It kind of looks golden.
Kind of a dirty gold. Or
Yeah, I was gonna say, mine looks golden. And I'm getting a little bit of legs. It kind of looks a little thin, but it's 43%. But it doesn't look too bad for 4 years. I might go kind of low in this category.
I'm on aesthetics. I'm at a 5.
Yeah, I'm at maybe around a 5 or a 6.
What do you say, Beer Man?
Whiskey. I mean, it looks pretty solid. I mean, $17. You also got to remember that this is $17. So if 5 was average, I mean, for paying $17 for this.
Yeah, but we're talking about how everything looks, not.
Yeah, I know.
Paid for it.
Change my rating.
legs are nice.
Well, no, I'm saying as far as like the category of what this is like kind of a bottom shelf whiskey. So as far as what you're paying, average bottom shelf whiskey, I think it looks pretty solid. So I just gave it a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6. I think that's fair.
Online.
Yeah, I was gonna go to a 7, but I went to a 6. I do appreciate that there.
I think someone's kind of pushing it for sure.
I do appreciate that there's a slight bit of information on this bottling, though, that it says 4 years, and it tells you about non-chill filtration. That's pretty good for a cheap whiskey to tell you about non-chill filtration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
48,
solid.
86 proof.
You know what would have made me give this like a 6 to maybe a 7 is if old Overholt. If Abraham's face was embroidered into the glass,
That would be sweet.
just like the wild turkey. Or
Well, I
the,
like the texture there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he was smiling, just get a marker.
Yeah.
Smile.
on the backside, he's smiling.
I know. 10 minutes into the video, Bumpy's like, wait a second, my guy's smiling. He just like took a marker. With a smile on his face.
He's got teeth.
You guys want to give it a nose? Oh, actually, did everybody give their aesthetic score?
Yeah.
You mean? Did you give yours?
Yeah, 6.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to go for the nose.
Okay. Let's check it out. 51% rye at least.
It does have
Yeah,
a spiced nose to it.
Oh, yeah.
Mentholy mint.
That is the first thing you smell is correct, sir.
Which one?
Oh, my God, Bear Man.
Which one? What did you call?
Created a masterpiece.
He looks demonic.
That looks like
Who's
one of the
Wanna
villains
play
in the
game?
Wild Wild West
The
movie.
guy
with-
from what movie's that? Want to play a game? Go bring
Oh
it
my
back.
God, Saw.
So, doesn't it?
Now you're talking.
Want to play a game? It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, you were right about this being minty and minty.
Yeah,
definitely.
total menthol. I got menthol, mint, kind of cooling. A little bit of that. I get a nice. I actually get like a really nice bakery spice.
There's
I
something
get
like that.
apple right
Well,
after
There's
that.
like
Cinnamon?
think wild turkey. It's got like a wild turkey kind of bakery spice
Oh,
going.
There's a cinnamon and vanilla.
Very
underneath all
reminiscent of like the wild turkey cinnamon.
I get like a red apple.
Something like that.
Apple, definitely apple. I can see that.
Looks
Green
like-
apple. Green apple,
No, mine's more like red. I'm kind of getting like a red apple.
Yeah,
it almost
I
tastes
get
like
it.
it has a candy shell to it too.
I can see that
Almost
totally.
like a candy though.
Menthol.
caramel, definitely caramel.
That menthol is effing strong.
I think
Really
it's
menthol.
not a whiskey examination if one person at least says, yes, totally caramel. There's
No, that's definitely
Really-
caramel.
If
I
you're
smell,
looking for
uh,
American whiskey, it's not
I think
definitely
as
caramel,
far
you're
as
doing it wrong.
for 86 proof, I'm getting a good amount of aromatics from this, and I'm really not getting much of a boozy burn.
Yeah.
For
I
a
smell
fresh
an old frowny
$17
guy.
bottle. I like
think
that
it's
cinnamon
suntan
spice.
lotion.
This is really nice.
Coconut suntan lotion.
I don't know about that at all.
Coconut suntan lotion. That's what you.
Are you smelling your fingers again?
Are you smelling your fingers?
Fucking bumpy.
No, I get earthy, like a big kind of an earthy thing too with the
Why is my
mint.
depth so high? Let me bring my. What am I doing?
Kind of wish there was more. Kind of wish there was more stuff predominantly in your face than just that minty thing. But it is a rye whiskey. What else would you expect? Honestly,
Right.
I think it smells pretty good. It does kind of have like a little bit of like a slight like cereal grain kind of aroma.
you can find the peanutty thing if you look hard enough, but that could have the power of persuasion of it being a Jim Beam distillery product. There's a roasty something in the background, which is to your point, I think there.
I like this. It's like I said, it kind of reminds me of like the wild turkey. It's got that bakery
Not as
cinnamon.
spicy. Not as spicy as the wild turkey. The wild turkey seem to have more citrus notes.
Well, it has like a nice soft
Yeah.
caramel.
We all
Slight
didn't get
vanilla.
any citrusy.
A little bit of
We didn't
vanilla
get-
coming through.
I like this. I think I'm gonna give this a good nose score for the nose.
There was no citrus to this, really.
I'm gonna go like
Visually.
14, maybe 15.
It's-
I think maybe we'll drink it
Oh,
first.
that's a no.
What do you guys think? You guys want to drink it before we give a score on the nose?
No,
Vicks Vapor Rub.
I have
Oh.
no idea about that one, really.
Do you guys want to drink it before we score the nose?
Sure.
Hard to get anything.
I'm gonna write something down, anyways. All right,
Yeah, I have something in mind, but
we'll drink
I
up.
feel like drinking it and then nosing it again. I might change up a little bit.
Oh man.
Cheers, everyone.
To Abraham Overholt.
Be drinking a Jenny.
Cheers.
Vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Whoa,
Yeah, I was getting that in the nose too. Vanilla.
that is a sharp, strong flavor.
It's kind of spicy. Black pepper.
That is all menthol.
I took a sip of water before I took a sip.
flavors.
I think that's
Like a
why I got
menthol.
vanilla.
It's very.
I do get like a slight kind of cardboardy note.
My baby water bottles.
Herbal.
What's that? I can feel. I can taste like it's evaporating that flavor of that minty. That makes
After drinking the Jenny, I get like it's kind of like cardboard and
I
almond.
get the nutty on the palate.
Yeah, I get like an almond
Is
flavor.
it nutty?
You said almond, huh? That's a nutty
I
note.
ate some almonds today, so they're kind of fresh on my palate.
Sure, there's just not like one stuck in your tooth.
No,
Toothpaste.
Yeah, the nose was a lot better than the palate's not bad.
I don't know that I get the.
Dialed back. It's very. I know we're not on mouthfeel, but it's pretty thin.
I don't know if I get that apple anymore. I don't think so, but I
Yeah.
think I get all the flavors surrounding the said apple candy
It's
flavor.
so nutty.
Yeah, it's that.
Like once you keep sipping on it, it's like straight up peanuts.
It's very that minty note
straight up,
is very sharp and prevalent.
I
straight
feel
up.
like it has a good
almond.
amount.
Burns my tongue.
I feel like it
That's
has a good amount of corn too. Yeah, there's a good amount of like kind of there's definitely some spice. You get that nice Kentucky hug. I like the warming though. Oh, that
It is a nice warm. It is
Yeah.
very nice.
the
And
palate is very
It's
like
not too hot, but warm.
straight peanuts, dude. I think I'm gonna go.
And nuttiness, but I can't figure out what nut it is.
Oh, excuse me.
Earthy. I get like a big earthy thing. Spicy, herbal, earthy, floral, caramel, vanilla.
yep.
How you doing over there, Bumpy?
Hold on. My acid reflux bothered me a little today, so the
Oh.
spice of the whiskey's kind of.
It's got a good amount of char and oak too.
I don't
It's a
know.
good like drying finish.
Mm-hmm.
Not very woody, but it's more just like kind of drying.
Very. It is not. The finish doesn't go for anywhere. It just kind of tapers off.
Drops off. Yeah.
But when you exhale out of your mouth, or when you open your mouth and you breathe in, you get all that menthol vaporous notes come in.
You know what's kind of got
Wintergreen or something.
kind of weird? You take
Yeah.
a sip. You take a sip and you kind of let it trickle on your tongue. It's kind of got like that that malty, like Bumpy was saying, malty apple, kind of like you would get with like an Irish whiskey. It kind of has like that
Oh,
malty, slight fruitiness to it.
is it that buttery?
Which is weird because it's like I said, you're getting like caramel. You kind of get the malt,
It's a quick buttery thing if you mention it like that. Yeah, Irish whiskey. Yeah.
and then at first though, I was noticing way more peanut. Now the peanut's starting to die off a little bit. I think that's because I was taking sips of water. I feel like maybe with the water, this turns into a super like peanut.
Peanut,
Peanut.
not quite peanut
Oh.
brittle.
Hey man, this ain't bad.
Finish.
We're
Is that,
dead like for the fifth time. This is $17, dude.
that finish is hard. That finish is just not even there. Well, except for like that minty thing, I guess. That's what I'm getting at.
And the drying. Finish is very drying. I do like the. I don't know. I think it's pretty solid. It's not bad.
Super short finish.
I mean, I could see this being a go-to for some people. I mean, this is cheaper than regular Jim Beam too.
Yeah.
Jim Beam's a bourbon, but I feel like this has a good amount of corn in it.
Ooh.
I kind of feel like it has like a especially with like that fruity apple note. I don't know.
I don't really get the apple as much in the
Maybe that's
flavor.
more
though.
malt.
It's
Maybe
in
that's
aroma.
more of the malt. Like I said, maybe it's a good amount of malted barley.
Mhm.
The
Well,
finish isn't as peppery on the throat as the last one. It dries off so fast. It just burns in the mouth, and it
Yep.
doesn't really burn going down. It just dries off.
Cinnamon bakery spice.
Well, I don't want to give it a good rating on the finish, but then again, like I said, the finish isn't. It's not an unpleasant flavor to the finish. It's
Yeah.
not bitter or anything like
I think
that.
that might be one of the higher ones on this.
Probably.
I think the problem is the mouthfeel.
Oh, absolutely. Which is why you would probably go. Which is why if you're looking for probably more mouthfeel, probably that bottled in bond version will provide that.
But there is that nice spice.
It does have kind of that sparkle thing on the palate that the rye the Wild Turkey 101 had. Just doesn't have the citrus. Yeah.
Well, actually, it's more reminiscent of the regular one, the regular Wild Turkey, because it kind of has like a soft caramel kind of flavor.
Yeah.
It's a little drying. The 101 is like next level bakery spice. Like the 101 is like the spice that you get from the 101 Wild Turkey is like the spice that I want with like almost every whiskey.
The
It's like
drinkability is off the
like
charts.
kind of sweeter cinnamon, because you could have there's levels to cinnamon. There's dry your mouth.
The cinnamon challenge level.
Yeah. And then there's like that nice sweet bakery kind of cinnamon.
Then there's Big Red.
Yeah, and that's kind of like this.
We can go around and give our nose. We haven't actually talked about nose yet. So yeah, Eric, if you want to give your nose, and we can go around the panel and kind of give a little short explanation why you gave it that number.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, excuse me.
Here's my nose.
Oh,
Okay. I think we kind of put the nose. I think that's for me out of all. I did all my ratings. Oh, I didn't rate the mouthfeel yet on my end, but I think whenever I get to a mouthfeel numbering out of 20, I think the best aspect to this whiskey is the aroma itself. I think it was Beer Man that hit it on, or Bumpy that hit it on the head about like a candied apple at the fair or something reminiscent to that. Maybe not as intensely spiced, but it had all of those notes of the cinnamon, the vanilla. There was that red apple kind of a note to it. But the very first thing you get is just a super sharp mentholated kind of a nose to it, which kind of, again, it's a rye, you're going to get that, but that was a little aggressive. But overall, I actually really did like the combination of those baking spices and the menthol kind of a minty thing. So I end up giving it a 15 out of 20 for the aroma.
nice.
Kind of surprised by that.
Bobby?
I'm saying 15 out of 20.
Nice. Beer Man?
I'm the same, 15 out of 20.
You guys want to explain why? Because I'm a 15 out of 20 too.
Wow.
We all give it the same.
What Eric said.
No, I wrote mine down actually. Like nose, I like the nose. Like I said, it reminds me of the Wild Turkey products.
It smells really good. I like the menthol.
I like that there's some kind of, there is a spice. That's the first thing you get. But there are some of the kind of sweeter, tamer notes that come through as well.
Yeah.
It's not the sweetest. Obviously, I've given other noses on different whiskeys or bourbons a little bit higher because I do like it when they come off more like a cinnamon bun or, like where it might have some more of that kind of sweet, sugary, brown sugar, more caramel to toffee, whatnot. But
yeah.
This one's fairly decent.
Nice.
I'm confused about the mouthfeel.
What do you think about the nose?
It's a very thin, watery mouthfeel, but it's not as watery as Jim Beam White Label. It's got more body than that.
Mouthfeel yet. We're still on nose.
Did we all just talk about the nose? Oh, wait a minute. We didn't talk about fucking taste yet. Pardon my French.
Yeah, flavor. We
All
still
right, I'll
got,
give it. I'll give
and we
it.
got Beer Man still has to give his thought. What do you think about the nose, Beer Man? What do you want to say about it?
It started out very menthol, kind of like what Eric was saying, kind of stealing his words, but it was, pretty on point with me. You get that spice, get that kind of a little cinnamony menthol kind of thing, and then it goes. I got floral, I got caramels, I got vanillas, I got all these other, like a little bit of fruit. Didn't get so much red apple or anything, not at least what I could sense, but I did get some kind of fruitiness. Maybe that was what that was. I got some pepper, some black, like a little peppery kind of note, earthy, herbal. Yeah, it was the floral too. The floral came out more in what we're gonna go over next, but yeah. So I don't know. I got a little floral, herbal thing.
Guess I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say that Jim Beam products kind of have like a funk, Jim Beam kind of funk. I don't really get that with this one though.
No, not on here.
Well, maybe that's that floral that Beer Man's kind of knows.
Or menthol, really. I guess it's the menthol. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Like a medicinal kind of thing.
Medicinal
I don't know
herbal.
what kind of flowers Beer Man's smelling.
Well, yeah.
Smelling grave flowers.
I thought it was very pleasant. I thought, like I said, it was really reminiscent of like the Wild Turkey Bakery. But I also really like that mint nose. I was kind of get like a menthol mint at first on the nose. I never really got struck with like heavy alcohol. Yeah, so I think as far as the aromatics, 15 out of 20. We all gave it that score. I think that's really fair, especially for what we're dealing with. So yeah, we'll move on to flavor. Yeah, we can go in order if anybody just kind of wants to speak up and give their score. Doesn't matter to me. But yeah, flavor not too bad. What do you guys think?
I added some water to see if anything changed. There's a slight chocolate that came out in water. Interesting. But overall, I gave the taste a 14 out of 20. I ended up writing there's a grainy complexion, super sharp menthol, and there is the peanutty thing. You're right on that, Tanner. Underneath the sharp menthol, caramel, vanilla. That menthol is almost wintergreeny. There was a quick buttery thing in the mid palate that you said was the Irish whiskey thing. I can kind of buy where you're coming from on that. And then as I thought about it, it was super grainy. I mean, I could go up to a 15 on the taste, but I think I'm going to keep it at a 14. I don't like the aroma at all when I added water, but that taste with a little bit of water became slightly chocolatey, which was kind of interesting. But I'm going to keep it at a 14 overall. It's just not. It is not bad, nor is it the taste isn't super memorable. That's all. But it's not really offensive, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at an 11.
Really?
I kind of got like a bit of a cardboardy type note right before I started,
Cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
Right before I started getting the almond. It's not too bad. I mean, it's got that kind of cinnamony spice, that baking spice type thing. Definitely the rye reminds me of a bit of like rye toast or whatnot, just a touch. I don't know. I would like to see a bit more like a citrusy fruit.
Yeah, I like the citrus candy in my ryes too.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of the cardboard that kind of threw me off. And
Cardboard. It's that cardboard type of cardboard.
That's what it starts off with this one for me. It's just kind of a cardboard right up front. kind of does get that
Maybe
nuttiness.
is it that great?
Spy.
Is it like what Eric was saying? Maybe that great kind of that grainy like taste.
I think we're talking about the same
No,
thing.
no, it doesn't taste. No, to me, it's like cardboard. But at least it's a flavor. The bullet rye started off
So
with
the
zero
box
flavor.
of the pizza, I don't understand where you get the cardboard from.
Like wet grains. You know, those
Maybe
like
it's
very
oxidized.
wet grains, right? The grainy flavor I get in a light beer
That's
or
what I'm
American
saying.
lagers are kind of like that
Cardboard.
You've never bitten into cardboard before?
on purpose.
Maybe on accident.
On accident.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I used to put cardboard in my mouth and go, "Arr," and tear it apart like I was a monster.
Oh, he got his anger out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Come
I
on,
don't know.
beer man,
I
say
don't get
something
any.
so we can scrutinize you now.
I don't,
Well, I was gonna say caraway seed, like
I
the
was gonna
earthy
say,
kind of,
I don't get any
Okay.
off flavors.
like a caraway, because caraway seeds in rye bread, which gives it a lot of that spice or that anise earthiness. So you almost get that in here, even though there's not anise in it. It's or caraway in it,
Yeah,
but
I can see a touch of like a black licorice type thing. Yeah,
licorice, yeah.
that's kind
But
of
but overall, like a decent flavor. It's not terrible, but I didn't get cardboard. but I got, I did get the menthol and the the herbal, the herbal spices and the earthiness, along with the caramel and a lot of it followed the nose. The nose was a lot better though, in my opinion. The flavor, I would give that a 14 out of 20. So, yeah.
You said 14.
Yeah, 14. Isn't that what it is? 20?
Yeah, I gave 4. No, yeah, I'm laughing because I gave 14 out of 22.
Oh, okay.
So did
Yeah.
Eric.
14s, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just not as good as the nose, but I was actually pretty impressed with the flavor. Yeah, mint, that cinnamon bakery spice, little bit of vanilla in there. I was kind of getting that like green apple. I guess you could kind of say it was I was kind of picking up a little bit of that grain.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was kind of reminding me of like an Irish whiskey a little bit. Just picking up like a little bit of those like malts.
Sure. Yeah.
Overall, I think the flavor was pretty solid. I wasn't really getting anything offensive or funky at all. Yeah, as far as flavor, I thought it wasn't anything too complex, but it had some solid flavor for what it is for sure. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. You know, these kind of cheaper bottom shelf bottles. Sometimes people do get maybe some off flavors in them. It is 4 years, so you would hope that they maybe can kind of age out some of those UT flavors, kind of like the graininess. Typically, is like the younger whiskeys, you get a little bit of that. Mouthfeel, what do you guys think? I think this is where it fell flat for me. I'll just go right out and say I just gave it a little bit more than average. I went 11 out of 20. I like the spice on the finish, so it kind of added to like the feel, kind of the drinkability of the product.
Mhm.
Other than that, I think it's kind of I do think it's kind of thin at that 86 proof. Yeah, it was just kind of lacking as far as viscosity for
No, I'm
for
going to
me.
go down to that.
I gave it
guys-
a 10.
10. It's fair.
I'm going to mimic yours. I'm going to mimic your 11 for the pretty much the same the exact reasoning. It's just the super. It's not as thin as something like a Jim Beam White Label. I think there's more body to this than Jim Beam White Label, but it's like not much beyond that. There's not really a super amount of weight or viscosity to this. I mean, it's only 86 proof. I wonder how the bottle nib bond actually would respond as far as the mouthfeel is concerned. But yeah, 11. Not much to it, really.
Yeah, you can kind of tell it's a little watered down.
Mhm.
Just really dry. So it like
It's
took away
very
a lot of the flavor.
Yeah. That's
So 10 for me on mouthfeel. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like overall that's kind of worst category.
Well,
But not the worst. It wasn't terrible.
I think it
just
ties for me with finish.
wasn't as good as the other ones.
Yeah.
Oh, so you gave finish 12? I mean 11?
No, I ended up going down to an 11 on the mouthfeel, and I stuck with an 11 also on the finish.
Finish. So I gave the finish 12.
Okay.
Because I like that spice. But I'm
Okay.
totally with Beer Man. It's very dry.
Yeah.
It's very astringent.
I just wrote for the finish super short and dry with spice / menthol that lingers.
Yeah, the
Well,
menthol. Yeah.
green kind of a sensation, I suppose. So if you really like that aspect of it sticking around with that minty note, then you'll probably really you may like the finish and rate it a little bit higher than some of us. That's your cup of tea.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, like smoking a cool cigarette. No, I have no idea. I have this in a menthol cigarette. That would be an intense, right?
One of those Marlboro Smooths.
Ooh,
No, it's not that minty.
Marlboro Cool or whatever it's called.
No, I went one up on finish just because I liked how it wasn't too harsh. It went down pretty smooth. It does linger. It does leave that little peppery kind of heat, menthol heat kind of thing, but it sticks there like heartburn, sort of. But but don't they all? It just seems like, I mean, unless you're like kind of calming it down with like a liquid of choice, they all. I mean, it's hot. It's a liquor. It's gonna do that, But
What did you give it? An 11?
11. One up on the mouthfeel.
What do you think, Bubby?
I gave it a 13 for the finish.
Oh, it's very dry.
It is dry.
It's drying out my palate.
It's dry, but that heat
Cannot
that
drink
gives
this
off a kind of
spice without water.
crackly, like sparkler feel on the back of the tongue as you're swallowing it.
It's
Kinda
drying
works
out
that
my
dry.
esophagus.
I do get that kind of star anise or black licorice type note that does linger. That's kind of the follow up of the spice.
Really?
Yeah.
I was getting more of kind of like what Eric was saying, where it's like spice and then mint kind of, or menthol. You guys get black licorice. Let me see.
After the spice starts to fade away, that's what I'm kind of left with.
Anise.
My tongue is really dry.
Just drops
really
off.
dry.
So dry.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm like, why am I coughing? And I'm like, God, it's the whiskey. It's drying my throat out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like Arizona heat. It's a good try.
It's an Arizona.
Is everybody able to get their number on the finish? Did everybody talk about their number?
Yeah. I know I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, super
Well, I
dry.
said 12. Pretty sure. Did I talked about one, right? 12. You guys get the point. Yeah, 12. Yeah. Value. I think this deserves like a 7. I feel like 8's a little too high. It is kind of youthy. It does kind of have like the young kind of grainy notes a little bit. It's got a little bit of that like typical Jim Beam nuttiness. You get a good you definitely get some good flavor. You get a nice little range of flavor, nothing too complex. But yeah, if you're somebody who wants to sip this neat, I think you would enjoy it, but it's just really astringent. So maybe you could probably do some really nice cocktails with this, though.
I forgot this is out of 10. I rated it out of 5. Whoops.
Maybe it
All right,
needs
I
some
got my
sweetness from a cocktail to kind of cut through the dry.
I gave it an 8 out of 10 for the value.
Ooh.
8? I can see that, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, and that just wicked tasted like Irish whiskey. Like,
Did you get it like the buttered like shortbread cookie or something?
no, it's like grainy, kind of like malty, and then you get a little of that apple, kind of like you would get with like an Irish.
A blended
Kind of
one?
like, kind of reminds me of Jameson a little bit, but not as super sweet. Jameson's like toffee.
Yes.
This is kind of like, it reminds me of that, but like with more of like a caramel kind of base.
I think I would rather drink Jameson than this.
It was kind of wispy.
Yeah.
Kind of dry and light.
That would be sweeter. Yeah, this needs a little bit more sweetness to cut through the dry, I feel.
Yeah, right, Tanner. More of a corn base.
Yeah, maybe
Part of
more.
the nose that it might have been had a pretty big
It's also
concentration.
really old.
That.
Probably this is probably like a really old recipe though.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless we emailed Jim Beam, we wouldn't know, right?
Yeah.
I gave it a 5. I initially was giving it a 3 out of 5, and then I realized we're doing this out of 10. Whoops. So I gave it a 5 out of 10. The value. There are things I'd rather buy at this price, but this certainly isn't horrible at all. There's nothing really off-putting about it, but
I mean, there's really not much you can buy at this price.
Even at that sub $20 range, I think there's a couple other things in just whiskey.
Rye in general, though, is not this cheap. I don't think you can find another rye this cheap.
No, but I'm just looking at it in the world of what would I want to buy other than this, and there's a couple of things that come that might even be even beyond rye, but yeah, I mean, again, this totally the value totally speaks that it's not the most horrible thing on the face of the planet Earth. So there is some value to it, even at 5 out of 10. Yep. I'd like to try that bottle and bond, see if that's any better.
Did you say on the paper planet Earth?
I'd rather there are other things I'd rather
for
buy.
The flat earthers now the world's made of paper.
The world is not made of paper, Bumpy. We're 3D playing.
What is going on?
Yeah, I gave mine a 5 because I paid more than you guys.
Value is a really subjective thing.
I think it's pretty good value. There's no other rye you can pay in this price. There's no other ryes in this price range. This compares to like some of the $25 ryes. I've had some other ryes that were in the $25 range. I think that this at least for, like I said, for $17. I've probably said it 16 times. You're not going to get 4-year age stated rye whiskey, 86 proof for $17 for many people. It's not really. I don't think there's not many that probably do it.
Probably the cheapest.
Maybe like the Rebel Yell. What's the Rebel Yell? Rebel Yell might be cheap. That might be like a 16.
This is the cheapest thing that they got.
I think the Rebel 100. Talking about?
No, Rebel Yell Rye. There's a Rebel Yell Rye.
There's a Rebel 100 rye too.
Rebel Yell.
I think that's in the $20 range.
I've never heard of their rye.
$6 for a $7.50.
Rebel Yell small batch rye. Yeah, my dad used to really like it. Yeah, I actually gave it a really good score. I gave it 8.5 out of 10 when I used to do out of 10s. I reviewed it in 2017. What does that go for? We got a price?
Might be around.
That was in the $20 range. Never mind, that was more expensive.
It's around
yeah,
16.
I don't know if there's anything that really $17.
$18.49 at Total Wine.
All right, so let me ask you guys a question, right? So you got $17 in your pocket. Let's just say that it costs $70, no taxes, none of that. Would you rather have this or let's just say straight up like maybe like Evan Williams?
Evan Williams.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I think that's
what? I would say I'd have this over regular Evan Williams. but definitely the Evan Williams white label over this.
Yeah.
The bonded one.
I
That's probably right around the same price.
don't know. You were mentioning the fact that we all kind of felt like, especially you did, Tanner, in your notes, that they're just not for some of us, there's not enough sweetness to kind of back up some of the flavors that are going on, which is why I would rather gravitate a little bit towards that Evan Williams, just because it's bringing back sweetness that this is lacking a bit of. That's, I guess, one of the reasons I would say that. But to each their own on that. That's just my opinion.
I just feel like, as far as like an experience,
It's a good one. Yeah.
If you're a brand new whiskey drinker and you don't have much money to spend on whiskey and you got $20 and you want to try a rye, and this was the cheapest one they had, I would say it's not a bad bottle. $7.50. It's $17. Even if you didn't like it, you can drown it with soda. You can drown it with Coke or
give it the sweetness back. Or something.
I'd say you buy three of the
Or
50 mils of Whistle Pig 6 year.
Right. Well, yeah.
I can get Whistle Pig Rye 6 year for $30. I found it even cheaper now.
Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's like $44, I think.
Usually 50. I saw it for 37, and then I walked into a store the other day and they had it for $30. I almost bought it.
The 50 mils though for the piggyback 6 year are like $5.25 piece.
Huh.
That's a 6 year.
Yeah, very expensive. Well, you guys want to tally up our scores? We'll get an average, and then we'll have our overall thoughts for the whiskey.
My score is 62.
Do some shout out.
He's already going.
Bobby, hold on. All right, I need to tally mine up.
Okay.
61.
Hold on.
You want to write these down and then let us know when to go next? Yeah.
No, I was just doing my score, but I want to hear what you guys. Eric, what was yours?
62 out of 100.
We're looking at 62 for Eric.
Yep.
Council 75. Bumpy, would you score it?
62.
Plus 62. Hear me?
61.
Aye.
And I was the highest score for this one with a 65.
Woo!
Divided by 4
Yeah,
people. 62 and a half. So do we round up or down?
Round up.
You usually round up at 65. If it's at 5, you go up. But
okay. All right, we'll do that. We'll do that then. So the average score would be
63.
63 out of 100 for the Old Overholt straight rye whiskey.
Certainly did better than Jim Beam White Label, which is
Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cry.
it did better than the Bullet Rye.
I wonder if Old Overholt sung that song.
Oh, Abraham Overholt.
No, this guy was from like the 1880 or something. 1810.
The
This guy
1810s.
started distilling whiskey.
This was
crazy.
a new country, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go over the last thoughts. What do you guys think? 63 out of 100. I think that's pretty fair for what we purchased. Overall, not a bad bottle. I know that mine's not going to go to waste. It probably work well on some cocktails. I don't mind sipping on it either. Would you guys recommend this product to other people?
It would not be my first choice on the planet
Maybe
Earth.
not.
If somebody asked about it, I would say it's not horrible, but
Yep.
Yeah.
there's better experiences out there, but there's also worse experiences.
I'm looking at whiskey in general, not just rye. I want to say that too.
Yeah.
This is rye. I get it. Yeah.
I think it's pretty drinkable.
Oh, certainly.
It's really inviting, other than the fact that it's super dry. So it's like
Yeah.
if you were recommending this to somebody who's like not familiar with whiskey, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that whiskey's dry." So it's like, is that a rye thing?
I think so.
Is that more common for ryes to have a drier finish?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my one-liner here is
just be the juice itself.
overall. I wrote that I felt like this is almost a one note, and when I mean that, I mean there's that super sharp menthol, wintergreen kind of a note, and I feel like that's the predominant flavor overriding anything else. You can pick out other notes; they're easy to pick out once you look at the rye whiskey, but if you just want what I'm getting at, I don't know what the concentration of rye is. It's going to be pretty high in this. But if you just want that super sharp menthol, or as beer man might say, peppery or sharp or whatever it is, then this is going to be something that you might even gravitate towards even more if that's what you really love in whiskey. But to me, it's a one note. It's kind of a one trick pony, really, is what it is. But again, you got to look at the price too, like Tanner said. So. You kind of all balances at the end of the day with value, I suppose, in that regard. So I gave value.
The website. Tasting notes. Non-chill filtered for a more robust flavor. 86 proof. Color is dark honey, they're calling it. Aroma is light spices and pepper mixed with a slight fruitiness and hints of vanilla. Taste is full body with a balance of spice and deep dark fruits.
What?
Finish full bodied, balanced, and very flavorful.
We did not get that in the taste or the finish. Where was the dark fruit in the taste?
I didn't get that.
I have no idea.
To be fair, guys, I will say though, if somebody was just like, I want a bottle of whiskey, I'm gonna want to spend $20, and they just were like, oh, what's this? You just grab it and try it. I don't think you'd be really that disappointed for $17. If you're not a super big whiskey guy, you just kind of drink whiskey, every once in a while, you want something cheap. You want to grab something $15, $20 range. This isn't a bad one. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I would recommend it, shout it from the rooftops and be like, go buy Old Overholt. But if you were at the store and someone was like Bumpy said, if someone was at the store and they're like, oh, what do you think of that Old Overholt? I'd be like, yeah, it's a solid product. It's nothing really to rant and rave about, but it's not terrible.
The drinkability's off the roof.
It's just a little dry. I would definitely let them know that it's dry though.
Get a bottle of water.
Really dry drink. What's
Get some water.
Maybe a little off topic. We'll probably talk about that off air. I was thinking, what's slow gin? Saw that today. Slow gin. Do you know, Bobby? You're the gin guy.
Not gin.
Not gin.
Isn't that
Anybody else want to say anything about Old Overholt? Bobby, beer man?
He reminds me of Scrooge.
Yeah.
Glad we got that in there. Glad everybody...
The guy from the $20 bill, Andrew
Beer man's is scary.
Beer man looks a little bit like Alice Cooper now.
Wait, does yours have a hat? Did you put a hat on him?
No, I can't.
He's desecrating Abraham Overholt. When this was established, the country is only 23 years old. Just think about that for a second. From 1810 to 1787. Oh my God,
that's really tall.
It's a pretty young spirit in the grand scheme of things in our country. So,
all right. Well, now we're just being silly. All right, let's do some shout outs. What do you guys got? Shout your channels out. Let everybody know what's going on in the YouTube world.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
And then maybe some people you want to shout out and let other people go discover and subscribe to.
Bumpy doing some illustrations. I'm going to leave my bottle unadulterated. Thomas Miles 75.
It's the Joker now.
I do. Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. Thomas Miles 75. Go search for me. Wildcard Wednesday is what we do most of the time. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on a Friday, or on a Wednesday, should I say. Co-host, if needed, is Alex the Beer Master. Please bring a beer, wine, or spirit. Really, any adult beverage. Just don't be a douche. I'm doing on that channel as well beer reviews, obviously whiskey reviews, and I'm starting to get into some tequila, so look out for some of those in 2024. And I play in a band called Oxblood Forge. Look us up on all the streaming platforms and Bandcamp if you like stoner doomy heavy metal mixed with 80s classic metal. Go check out Alex the Beer Master, my co-host, and go check out Rajay Beer Ventures. Yo, if you like beer reviews, you should check out Rajay Beer Ventures. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, Eric. And I just want to say quick that this got the same exact score as the bullet from last week.
Okay. Wow.
Oh man, I thought it was better than Bullet.
It was better than Bullet for me too. I gave Bullet a 59.
I gave this a 65. I gave the bullet a 67.
Man, Tanner's skewing those numbers pretty good.
I'm always a little bit different than everyone, yeah. For the most part. I think Dan somewhat agrees with me sometimes.
All right.
Dan usually will have the same number and then argue with me.
That's kind of true.
But like, Dan, we both gave it a 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, bud. What about you, Bumpy? Oh, are you done doing your shout-outs, Eric? Did you finish your shout-outs? You all set?
All set, sir. Thank you.
Cool, bro. Thanks for being here, man. Bumpy,
The bottle.
get off your phone.
I'm looking for my next shout out.
He's looking for shout-outs. This is
Shout.
drinkable. I can't complain with that.
Let it all out. Yeah, it is. Definitely.
That's the best part. If there was drinkability,
All right, beer man. Do your shout-outs.
yeah, sure.
All right.
What Bumpy's doing. He's on another. Bumpy's on Bumpy time.
We're
Right
getting
now.
your shout-outs ready.
Well, of course, I got my live streams. I do Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Beer and Cheese Tuesday is going to be different this week, so you can bring whatever alcoholic beverage you want and a cheese of choice. We're going to do that once a month, so switch it up a little bit. See if we can get some more people in there. So that starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, then 6 o'clock Eastern. The next day is all spun out. Everyone got their adjectives, so go ahead and pick, get a beer based on 2 of the 3, at least, if you can, or 1 of the 3, or all 3 of the adjectives that were spun for you. We do a little bit of an ABV, guess at ABV thing, and kind of starts our day before we go to Eric's or Terio's show or wherever we go. That's the start of it all. Well, actually, you get miscellaneous before that. So let's see. I'm just trying to find someone. But beyond that, I did have the Sparkle beer go out. We were going to do a review today, but Shark got sick, and so I told him just to go ahead and review on his own. But we might do it tomorrow after Beer and Cheese with Sparkle, and Chatio will be the only added component to that. We've already done it with Sparkle and Bill and Beer Hounds, but wanted to have Chatio in there. So we'll get that because he's visiting with her right now. I did order your Kolsch recipe, so that'll be coming in the mail sometime before next Thursday. Hopefully I can brew Thursday next week and get that while it's cold. Haven't gotten my chiller yet. I'm pissed off because they extended it another month and a half before I'll get it. So let's see what else. I've got 2 beers coming up for Beer Hounds. He contributed. And I'm also going to add in and redo his Mr. Bill Nipa, and then he's got a Westie coming called Feeding the Crow.
Whoa.
Because he likes to feed crows. Other than that, that's really it. Just brewing a lot. Still trying to look for someone here. I guess I'll just shout out Shark. He's sick at the moment, I think, or something's going on. Hopefully he's okay. But Yeah, hope he's all right. I don't. I'm trying to let me look up his thing real quick. I'm pushing him, starting to do a Alex the Beer Master link.
And you said beer and cheese is any drink and cheese.
Yeah, any alcoholic beverage and then cheese. So wine, cheese, liquor drink, cheese, mixed drink, beer, kombucha. Well, kombucha does have a little alcohol in it, but yeah. So so the last thing Shark did was a water review. So he did a water review thing to talk about all the water, our water, distilled water, tap water, this, that. So go check him out. Yeah, cool dude. All right, I'm done. Cheers.
Cheers, beer man.
Cheers, beer man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, bro. Thanks for being here, dude.
Yeah.
Bobby, are you all ready now?
We're on Jenny time now.
It's my
So,
cousin. My cousin's
I'm
name
gonna
is
shout
Jenny.
out.
On Jenny
Go
time.
check out Samantha Lee's originals.
There you go.
She writes and produces and sings her own music, and yeah, different things: guitar, piano, and stuff like that. Yeah,
Nice.
Cool.
very nice. Anyway, yeah, on my show, on my channel, I'm putting out some beer reviews here and there. Try to do a couple a week, anyways. Oh yeah, frozen pizza reviews. Doing those. I don't have any frozen pizzas available right now, so I don't know what I'm going to do next. But I'll find something. I haven't done Tombstone yet. Maybe I'll try to grab a Tombstone.
Oh, well.
Gotta go something really cheap again. You know, I've done a couple of the ones that are kind of pricier, so find something cheap and do that. I did pick up. I do got to do something at some point because Dan had said, but I have to go back to I think the Tony's. I'll get like a Tony's cheese pizza because I picked up some Frank's Red hot sauce because he said that's how he would eat it. So try a slice of Tony's cheese with some Frank's Red hots on it. Yeah. At some point. That's
Cool.
it. That's all I got.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Nice, Bobby. Cheers, bro. Woo. That burnt a little bit. All right. Well, another awesome examination, another successful examination. I think we are going to try to discuss the next rye when we're off air because we always forget to do it. So we got to think about what we're going to do. But yeah, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Every Monday, we've been doing these whiskey examinations. They're a lot of fun. We've been doing rye January. So the next one's going to be a rye. We just got to figure out which one it's going to be. There's so much stuff out there, but we also got to remember that, you know, I try to pick stuff that's available to everyone. I try to pick stuff that's more affordable. Of course, I'm not going to expect you guys to go out and buy $50, $60 bottles of whiskey every week. I know I personally could never afford that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun doing these. I really do enjoy it. I hope you guys are having a good experience and having fun at the same time. It's nice to kind of sit here with these categories and kind of think about it. You know, it kind of makes us better reviewers. Like I said, we could use this scoring system for pretty much anything. You could use this with your beer reviews. If you guys wanted to do a beer review with the scoring system, go right ahead. Like I said, we're going to have to do maybe some other spirits one day. I know Bumpy wants to do a gin. I'm totally down. That'd be fine with me. That would be fun. Yeah, like I said, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time next week. And then, of course, pop-up rate that beers. I've had a little bit of time throughout the week. I've been getting different days off with the holidays and stuff. So, yeah, I've been doing some rate that beers. So just look out for those. Pretty much just kind of like open panel beer review show where we pretty much just keep going until everybody's done reviewing beers. So it's a lot of fun. Went for like 2.5 hours, I think, last time. So definitely look out for that. I did just upload a video. Another long live beer. It's this one right here. Crushed Little Stars. So go check that out. Pretty cool. So in Rhode Island, you can get some beers that are actually brewed at the Boston location. So when I went to Providence, they had other beers, and then I went to a liquor store today in East Greenwich. They had a bunch of stuff that was brewed at the Boston location. So I was looking through them, and yeah, go check out my video if you're interested. And also, I just recently reviewed a Wheel Horse, which is a cigar blend bourbon. I've been reviewing tequilas, rums, brandies, all that good stuff. 2024. I'm really going to try to stick to the variety and do some other ones. Definitely leave a comment on my video. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'm pretty much open to drinking any type of adult beverage. I'll do malt beverages every once in a while, but usually those are really, really sweet, and I don't like to drink too much of that stuff. But yeah, definitely shout out to the panel for sure. Thomas L 75, also known as Massachusetts Beer Reviews, also known as Eric. Cheers, brother. Bubba Road Brews. Cheers, man. And Beer
Cheers.
Man. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Shout out to the chat as well. Cheers, Sunfish for Fish. And then Beer Man was in the chat. We had Beer Hounds.
Hands.
Cardboard tug of war with your dogs. That sounds fun. Hopefully you don't lose a tooth. Sam, check out Sam too. Nobody said, if nobody mentioned Sam tonight, definitely check out Sam. He's been starting to do a bunch of beer reviews. He's getting into the game, so go show him some love. Newer channel, great beer reviewer. Beer Hounds also does beer reviews too, so go check it out. And check out Miss Wow, that's cool, dude. That looks friggin' funny, dude. That's hilarious. That's great.
The Joker.
Yeah. So we're gonna have some fun and draw some more pictures on our old Overholt bottles.
I'm not doing that.
And yeah, thank you guys for doing another whiskey examination. Hopefully I see you guys next week. And there you have it. If there's anything else you guys like to see on my channel, make sure to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my upcoming videos. Like beer. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.